Hey guys, it's West here, back with another episode of I Laika Oreos. Today we're back again, of course, on the Laika account. As you can see, we are in Giants V10. I'm extremely excited to say. Not extremely consistent, about an 80% success rate, but that will change within time. I've only been in GB10 for 2 days now, and by 2 days I mean probably a total of 20 or 30 runs. So the success rate may be off by a bit. I only recorded like 30 runs worth on paper, so that's just what it came out to after 30 runs. It's more or less, most likely a lot less. The team does fail um, when Bella or Shannon die, but so far it's been going pretty good. I think the big reason this team is successful is because Laika tanks most of the damage, which is good. Of course, a fire unit, he tanks most of the damage, and because of his passive, Laika is like unkillable, or at least he can't really be one hit. So in Giants, I really like him so far. I tried out GB10 because I've been in GB7 for a little while. Of course, I haven't spent that much time on the account. I know it has been a month since I've made a video for it, but I wasn't really hardcore farming. I was just using energy and wings. So now we're back on it again, and the last day or two I've been using a significant amount of crystals, refilling and doing as many runs as I can, getting the runes I need. The big thing right now is I just need everybody on 5-star blue runes. Once this team is on 5-star blue runes all around, and what I mean by that is, the substats are just the bare minimums of what I need. Of course, I need a little bit more speed for Shannon, Bernard, and Bella. I need a little bit more tankiness so they have more survivability. Lapis needs a crit damage slot 4 in either Despair or Blade because she is on a Despair set, so that I can stun some of these ads in the trash waves. So, there's very small changes that are very easily obtainable through Giants. Like I said, I only need 5-star runes with 1 or 2 useful subs in order for my runs to become a lot more successful. The big thing here, like I said, is Laika. Laika is a huge safety factor to the team, I guess you could say. It's miraculous the entire team made it to the boss. But yeah, I mean, we make it to the boss every time, pretty much every time. The only time we really fail is at the boss, and that happens when we don't get a buff from Shannon, we don't get any heals from Bella, or Bella fails to strip and we have a defense break. Of course, the glancing helps a lot. So the big thing that's going to happen to this team, I know I've talked about a bunch of other team variants using the Wind Magical Archer, using the Light Drunken Master, and a variety of other units that I've tested along the way, trying to speed up progression and essentially get a faster Giants team. But right now, this is the team that is most consistent due to the attack bar reduction from the Magic Knight and the attack bar increase from Bernard. I'll show you the runes after this run. It'll be done in a second here. But it looks like we're going to be fine. A lot of those units are going to be, or some of those units are going to be used in the very end, or in I guess my final iteration of this Giants team before we really go into speed teams. And of course, that's a whole different thing, because once you get into speed teams with Giants, you really don't see a huge variety of units that work effectively. Of course, you have damage dealer options, but nevertheless, we'll go through the runes here. These are the same stats from Laika. He's been on for a while. I have him on a vampire blade set, which is very miraculous, because obtaining any sort of vampire runes early in the game sucks. These are all from crafting. Every single one of these are from crafting. No rune packs bought, no anything like that. I don't believe so. But this is all from crafting. This rune was great. This was a crafting rune that I crafted really early on. That was amazing. It was I believe it was legendary or hero. Might have been a hero rune, actually. It looks like at least 2 rolls into crit damage. No, 2 into crit damage, 2 into crit rate. Well, I mean, this is a legendary rune. It's a wonderful rune, though. And yeah, this is the Vampire Blade set we have him on, which is great because you could farm. And of course, like ideally, an endgame sort of build would be a Vampire Nemesis, Vampire Blade, whatever. Vampire and some sort of strong offset. Vampire Will. Because he does have the revenge procs on his 3rd skills that basically help him sustain. Also, he can't have 35% of his max HP done any more damage than that at a time, which is really nice. So he actually gets pretty strong when you have a ridiculous amount of HP on him, because regardless of how much damage they do per hit, they can't exceed 1/3 of his max HP, essentially, a little bit more than a third. Bella did get 6-starred. In the previous episode, you may have seen I was leveling some wind inigamis. I did get 5 wind inigamis up to 5-star so that I could 6-star Bella. Bella is now max skilled, which helps a lot with getting those heals off consistently and constantly having the second skill up so that we can strip as often as possible. I really like the speed right now. 204 speed. It's pretty nice for a really early game account. HP is decent. Defense is decent. The big things are these runes can all really be improved. I mean, so speed, accuracy, just a little bit of speed. Of course, this rune could get better with having some accuracy on it, because accuracy is 1% lower than what ideally you want it to be. I don't know how much, in the sake of consistency, that's going to change. The slot 5 is still a 4-star rune. I'm using it just because the speed and accuracy is there. So I really don't have anything else I could put there that I really like. I don't want to sacrifice the accuracy for any speed, and I've got a bunch of really awkward runes here and there too. So that's where I'm at right now for Bella. I did also 6-star Tian Kin. Tian Kin is going to be in my final iteration of Giants teams. He's going to replace Bernard. So basically, once my team is at the speed levels I want them to be, meaning that they are going to outspeed the enemy regardless of a speed buff, because right now Magic Knight isn't fast enough, Laika isn't fast enough, so my damage dealers aren't fast enough to outspeed the waves without a speed buffer like Bernard. So I need Bernard in there, otherwise the enemy will get a turn first, potentially freeze my units and all that stuff. And the reason I'm talking about that kind of stuff is because I am considering putting Galleon in. Don't even think about asking about the runes or anything like that, because his runes aren't even there. He's got whatever on him. I did finally max skill Galleon. I know I used Devilmons on him. People are gonna cringe or yell at me. I don't really see a point in using Devils on Chiwu right now. I really love Chiwu as a unit, and he's an amazing unit, don't get me wrong. But for progression's sake, Galleon is going to come into play before Chiwu does. So Galleon's all skilled up and ready. As a side note, yesterday, off a random mystical scroll from Giants B10, I did pull an additional Galleon, which is hilarious. I have a lot of friends that I play with who have been dying to get a Galleon for a while, and on my main account, on this account, and on another alternate account, I have pulled multiple Galleons on all of them. So it's kind of a running joke now. Wayne is max skilled, not really ruined yet. He is going to be used for Guild Wars as I guess you could say a Bernard variant, because of course you can't run I'm not going to build a second Bernard just for Guild Wars, but in the case that I need 2 speed buffers for multiple teams, he's really nice. He has good damage output as well. He does need skill ups, so I'll be looking for those, I guess. Let's see. In terms of other monsters, my Magic Knight is on Despair, Speed, Crit Rate, Attack right now. I'm looking for either an attack slot 4 or a crit damage slot 4 that is decent enough. I like this slot 5. The slot 5 is a really nice rune, at least of course for this part in the game. Speed, I want to be higher. I would like an attack slot too, but if I do that, I am going to want speed substats on her. Let's see, who else do we have to worry about? Bernard, currently 219 speed. He's at the accuracy cap, which is nice. He does have an accuracy slot 6, but it really doesn't matter since he's both a wind unit and his base stats are fairly decent at 5-star. He's got okay defense, and his base HP isn't awful. Shannon, I really want on a Despair set. Of course, she's 5-star right now, and her base stats are garbage even with her buff. So I have to have her on a Swift Broken right now. I'd like an energy slot, but I haven't really found any other rune that could replace what she has right now. She has a lot of speed subs. She's got this wonderful 17 speed rune right now. It was a triple roll on a 5-star, which is really nice. It could have been a lot better, or the rolls could have been higher. I guess this could have potentially been a 20 speed rune, but still a triple roll into speed is really nice on a 5-star rune. It's going to go on Bernard eventually, but for right now it has to be on her because I really don't have any other sets to put her on. My Despair runes are very lacking, and for the most part that's what I'm hunting for in Giants right now. Other than that, monsters that I plan on building are going to be this white guy, Logan. No, Logan's the wind one. This would be, oh geez, Lucas. There we go, Lucas. Everybody forgets his name. He's not a very well liked monster from what I've heard from higher leveled players. I think he's really interesting. He's a light nuker essentially. He's got a higher crit rate chance. Yeah, 30% crit rate buff if he has a shield amount, and he gets a shield based on every time he attacks if he crits. So that's cool. Shield equivalent to 50% of damage dealt is really nice. I think he's a really interesting unit. I want to put him on like a either HP crit damage attack build or speed crit damage attack with HP subs. I want him like a bruiser more than anything, and then give him 70% crit rate. So with shield, he's got 100%. I think he'd be an interesting unit to play with. I got a lot of light dark monsters is what I want to play around with on this account. Of course, this account is all focused on Laika, but I want to be using those units. So what I was talking about earlier when it came to using Tiankin in things, his runes are whatever. He's on a fatal speed attack build right now. What I want him on is a speed crit damage attack build with high attack and high crit damage because of his third skill. It does healing scaled off of the damage inflicted, which is really nice, 25% of the damage inflicted, and it can HP block as well, and it hits 3 times. So I'm really excited to use him because he brings a lot of utility to every team, and not to mention eventually he'll be used in raids, so having him as a 6-star is not an ineffective, I guess, or inefficient 6-star for a monster, because in raid teams he has a lot of utility as well. The big reason I like him, if I'm going to replace my Bernard with him and go for more of a triple damage dealer comp with still having a lot of safety and utility, is because the first skill attack breaks, which is really nice, and it's got a 100% harmful effect rate at max skill. So whereas Bernard's, or the only other attack break I guess you could say on my team, is on Bernard's second skill with a cooldown. This is on his first skill. So you're going to not really have to rely on Bernard using his second skill as often as you would for Tiankin landing his attack break, since Tiankin is going to attack with his first skill anytime he has the chance. And with a 100% harmful effect rate, you can rely on it, I guess you could say, or at least expect it to land consistently. Also, the HP buff on the second skill, or the HP, the heal and crit block, there we go, and the crit block is nothing to turn your nose up at either, because 3 turn based on attack power is really nice, especially since we're going to be building him with high damage in order to work with his third skill anyways. I think it's great. I think this unit's really looked over by a lot of players, or they just don't really see the utility. The big thing for me that I really like about Tiankin is, as compared to a lot of other units, is that the skills where you're really looking at what the skill does in terms of what it does for your team, it is 100% harmful effect rate, which is something that I don't think you see on a lot of units where you really want them to perform. I mean, for example, Vero's dot, Megan's dot, a lot of monsters, even Vero's stun, you don't get 100% consistency with their skill because the harmful effect rate doesn't go up to 100%. Given it's still going to get resisted because the accuracy resistance formula is not perfect in this game, but having 100% harmful effect rate on the third skill and the first skill basically takes away a little bit of the variance in the team, which I like. It settles me a little bit more than for example, seeing Megan's first skill with the inconsistent dots. Also, Megan is almost max skilled. That's happened over time just by me getting Mystic Witches through scrolls, stuff like that. I've just been skilling her up on the side. She's going to be used in Dragons. I think on this account I might not even put her into my Giants team just because I have Galleon already. So, and Galleon is also max skilled. I don't really see any reason to try to force Megan into the team, since her survivability won't be far off from Galleon's, and in order to make her survive as often as Shannon would, she probably needs a 6-star due to her elemental neutrality as compared to Shannon's elemental advantage over the Giants boss. The other monsters that I was looking at, I got the Water Horse a while ago. He's great for Camilla comps, for invincibility stuff. He's also really cool for Guild Wars if there's a unit you really want to buff and the unit is going to be slow. For example, in this case, it would be Laika. I think it would be really fun to just screw around with him and Laika. He does have attack bar reduction and on 2 skills, which is kind of neat. But the big thing is his 3rd skill. I don't know. I want to screw around with him, and since this is not my main account, I'm probably going to be building a lot of units that I shouldn't. At least for if I was going to be capitalizing on progression. More than anything on this account, I want to have fun. So that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be farming a lot of giants as well. We'll go ahead and look at TOA in one moment. Here's what my storage box looks like. Nothing special still. You may have seen I do have a Mycene. I don't plan on fusing any of the major fusions or any fusions anytime soon. We could take a look at my fusion progress. I mean, really, like, there's no monster that I'm even close to. I suppose the Windvalk. I pulled her on my very first Summoner's War account. I never built and used her. Maybe she would be fun to mess around with. Of course, she's not used really in any dungeon teams except for the crazy YOLO speed Rift 5 team. But, I mean, you need Jemire and other invincibility buffers for her in order to do that. We don't have any summons today because I'm trying to stay relatively efficient on this account, even though I'm not always going to be able to use everything. I know I've got overflowing arena wings. Arena really sucks, just for me in general lately. So outside of that, there's not too much more to talk about. Island progress, I mean, there's no other buildings for me to get. The Glory Shop buildings are as such. We'll start from the very end. Nothing into speed, nothing into crit damage. We have a little bit into guard, a little bit into crystal rock, and we've basically leveled everything up to 2 except for the Sanctum of Energy, and we're going to be trying to max out those energy buildings first. So that's about all we've got for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this short update video. If you have any questions, be sure to leave them below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. So I was editing the video, I totally forgot about TOA. I thought I should just add this little segment at the end. TOA normal 52, TOA hard 31. That's about it. I'm not going to try to go any further. I'm not going to push the envelope in either TOA because I don't find it worthwhile to waste a bunch of energy on doing it. But I figured I might as well tell you guys what's in TOA since I said I would. And yeah, that's that. Hey, it's West again. If you enjoyed that video, please hit the subscribe button below. It really helps me and I appreciate it.